What's going on, friends? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're continuing the celebration month-long of the spooky Halloween season by now unboxing the second NECA Ultimate Leatherface Texas Chainsaw Massacre figure. So this is the Pretty Woman variant of Leatherface. So the last video that I did, guys, was the standard variant, the typical Leatherface in his first appearance in the 1974 Texas Chainsaw Massacre film. If you haven't checked that out already, guys, it was the last video that I did. So hop on over there once you're done with this video and check that one out as well. So guys, as always, my name is Matt, and this is the Pop Complex. All right, guys, welcome back to the Pop Complex. Like I stated, we are going to be unboxing this NECA Ultimate Texas Chainsaw Massacre Pretty Woman Leatherface. So this is a dual release. So the standard Leatherface was already released under this Texas Chainsaw Massacre 50th anniversary, celebrating 1974 to 2024, the 50th anniversary of Tobe Hooper's famous slasher film. So guys, in my last video, I talked about the film in a little bit of detail. It was directed by Tobe Hooper, and it was the first of its kind, even predating the 1978 John Carpenter's Halloween as a 70s slasher. And this film, guys, is unlike any film that I've ever seen. It is gritty and dirty and sweaty, and the level of realism is absolutely unreal. It actually makes you think that this is real footage from the 70s and not just a movie. That's what's so terrifying and unsettling about it. But here we have the Leatherface as he appeared at the end of the film in the suit, tie, and the Pretty Woman mask. And we're gonna dive into that and take a closer look and explore what that actually means. So we have some new artwork here on the front of this box. We have the famous tagline from the original movie poster, "Who will survive and what will be left of them?" We have a still shot, sort of done in a blurry artistic cutout style from the end of the film, when Leatherface is running with the chainsaw, and he's got the full suit on down the country road as the sun is coming up. And then here we have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre logo here. So let's flip the box over and take a look at the top there. We have again that logo against the Texas horizon where the sun is coming up. On this side, we have some alternate photography of Leatherface there holding up the chainsaw with the Pretty Woman mask on. And here we have a frontal shot with the chainsaw down. And then here on the back, well, let's take a look at the bottom first. We always look at the barcode legal information and the NECA creative team behind the figure there. But now back to the back of the packaging, we have some really great photography of the figure out of the packaging. So a nice close-up here with the chainsaw. And then we've got the Pretty Woman version of Leatherface here with the plate of food, I guess you could say. We have Leatherface with the hammer here, and then another side view with the chainsaw. So let's open up this flap and take a closer look. And as always, NECA gives us a nice full photograph of the figure there on the inside flap. So really great shot of the Pretty Woman Leatherface. And here is the figure right here. So awesome job, very movie accurate. And correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, guys, but I believe this is the first time that NECA has given us this Pretty Woman likeness in an Ultimate. I don't really collect the soft goods figures, but I know they do a lot of figures in the soft goods, the clothes. But I don't think we've gotten an Ultimate so far up to this point of the Pretty Woman. But you can see here, there's the plate of food that we're looking at. There's the infamous chainsaw right there. There's the two alternate hands. We've got the short hammer, the meat cleaver. It looks like we get the knife there that came with the standard Leatherface. And interesting, they threw in an armadillo because Texas, why not? So I believe this is the same armadillo that came also with the Ultimate Universal, the Bela Lugosi Dracula accessory set. I think it may just be a little bit of a repaint, but I think they just threw that in there as an extra accessory because why not? Again, why not? Texas, and they already had that armadillo as an accessory that they previously given us. But that's the figure. So on the back, we forgot to take a look. It includes the interchangeable hands, the jacket piece, chainsaw, armadillo, plate of meat, hammer, cleaver, and knife. So yeah, I think that pretty well covers the accessories. So without any further ado, let's not waste any more time and let's get this pretty woman out of the package and take a closer look. Stay tuned. All right, guys, and we're back here with the NECA Ultimate Pretty Woman Leatherface out of the packaging and ready to take a closer look. So coming out of the packaging, this guy looks fantastic. I had a little trouble getting him to stand up, but I think he should be okay now. So let's look at the accessories first that he does come with. So he doesn't come with any alternate heads like the previous Leatherface did, but just because the Pretty Woman is just a one singular look that was captured in the film, so there wasn't really a need to include any alternate heads for an alternate look for this particular look that Leatherface had in the film. But the first two we have here are the interchangeable hands, and these I believe are the same semi-closed grip fist hands that came with the previous release Leatherface, just the standard yellow apron version. And it looks like he has those two open palm hands that the previous Leatherface had. So I think the hands are pretty much identical. There's a lot of overlap with the accessories here, not just the hands, but here's the hammer. So again, he comes with that short-handled hammer that the previous Leatherface did. Also the same knife as well, and the same kitchen cleaver. I'll bring this in, bring the light around. The same kitchen cleaver with that recessed handle with the ridges in there. Same cleaver. The new accessories here that we get are this armadillo, and I kind of was talking about this earlier in the video, that this is just a recycled armadillo from the Dracula, the Universal Bela Lugosi Dracula. I think it may be repainted to give it a little bit more detail and to make it look a little bit different, but that is the armadillo because, hey, Texas. And the other new accessory here is the plate of meat, which is absolutely amazingly appetizing. Doesn't make you guys hungry just looking at that after seeing the film. Texas home cooking. And finally, again, it wouldn't be the Texas Chainsaw Massacre without the Texas Chainsaw. So again, we get a recycled accessory in the chainsaw. It is the same chainsaw that came with the standard Leatherface, only this time it is painted without any blood spatters on it to reenact the scene at the end of the film. Again, where the sun is coming up, Leatherface is running down the road, and he is in hot pursuit, but there's no blood spatter on the chainsaw. So again, as I covered in the previous video, a lot of people were asking why the chainsaw is green, why it says light lime green color. It's actually screen accurate. So in the film, the chainsaw almost looks yellow, and the first Leatherface that we got several years ago from NECA gave us a yellow chainsaw. But screen accuracy dictates that it is a lime green color, just like this. So same chainsaw, only this time clean and no blood spatters. So, and the final accessory that we have here is an alternate jacket, which, I mean, this is kind of a minor detail if you wish to use this one, but all it does is it gives you an alternate flowing look for the suit jacket. As you can see here, This one sort of has the left side flared out more as if it's, you know, blowing back in the wind, and this side is kind of down a little bit more. It's just the alternate. Looks like here you get the right side flapped out more, and then the left side is down and stationary more. It's all depending on how you want to display your Leatherface, but I think this one is just fine because I'm definitely gonna display him as he appeared at the end of the film, where he's swinging around in circles and wildly flailing around with his chainsaw in the air, which is an absolutely superb scene. The lighting is just perfect. It was impeccable for that scene, and there's not another moment in horror movie history the same as that end scene of Leatherface in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So let's take a closer look at the detail on the figure and the articulation. All right, so here is the Pretty Woman skin mask in greater detail, and well, it's a wig to Leatherface, but probably not a wig, probably real. So let me bring the lighting around here so we can take a closer look at the detail on this makeup. So you can just barely see Leatherface's eyes peering through the skin flaps there, and his grotesque teeth. But of course, you know, the bottom of the chin was always split there, so we see his chin, and it looks like some facial hair back there, like some sideburns or a beard underneath the mask. Let's flip it around to the back here, back of the hair. As you can see, just the standard suit jacket and that signature tie over the grungy dress shirt. So the tie is probably pegged just like the other Leatherface was, so that it can swivel depending on how you want to display it, like where it's blowing back in the wind, like that he is running. So now let's take a closer look at the articulation. All right, so Leatherface's head is on that typical ball joint that NECA utilizes on their Ultimate figures. And for the shoulder, we get, again, that standard shoulder joint. We can get a full 360-degree rotation, any angle forward and back, within the restrictions of how that the suit coat is sculpted. There is a single jointed elbow on this guy, and a standard wrist swivel, so we can get forward and back motion on the wrist, and then, you know, full 360-degree rotation. I don't know if there's an ab cut under that shirt. Sometimes NECA gives us the ab crunch articulation underneath sculpted clothes. It's kind of hard to tell on this guy, but he does have a waist swivel there, which gets a little bit of forward and back, to the left and to the right. One thing I've noticed that I've never noticed as a detail in the film until now seeing the figure, but his fly is open. So I'm pretty sure that that's very film accurate. They probably wouldn't have added that if it was not, but his fly is open, and I think that's a very cool detail, again, that I've never noticed before. The legs are on the standard NECA hip socket. So again, with the confines of the sculpt of the pants, you really can't get too much forward and back, and then out about this far, and the pants kind of restrict that. But we get the single jointed knee, which can barely get 45 degrees. And then we get the standard ankle rocker joint there on the shoes. And that is kind of restricted by the sculpting of the cuff of the pants. And this guy is a little bit hard to get to stand up correctly coming out of the package. So you kind of have to mess around with him a little bit to get a good stance. But now I'm going to switch out the hands, give him the chainsaw, and reenact one of the best scenes in 70s horror history. All right, and now here we have Pretty Woman Leatherface reenacting the end of the film when he was in pursuit with the chainsaw. One of the kind of disappointing things with this figure that you're unable to really reenact is that the arms don't really have enough usable articulation to really get both hands high above his head to hold the chainsaw, where it's both hands are gripping the chainsaw. So I went with the next best pose that I could, but that's a little bit disappointing that there's not enough articulation there. I think some of the butterfly in the front chest, the shoulder, the butterfly articulation that we've seen with some of the Hasbro figures would have been nice to get him to have a little bit more of a wider stance with his arms and maybe a double joint in the elbows for sure, which would have been great. I guess I understand why it would have been a little bit more difficult with the sculpting as well for this particular figure. The more articulation that you have in a figure, the more that the sculpting and the detail and the realism suffers from that. So I kind of get it. It's kind of a double-edged sword, or double-edged cleaver, if you will. But this is good enough. I mean, it's the first time, again, that NECA has given us an ultimate in the Pretty Woman variant of Leatherface, so this is really cool. It's highly film accurate, comes with some pretty decent accessories, and it's gonna look great displayed next to my standard Leatherface. So again, if you guys haven't checked out that video that I just uploaded where I unboxed the 50th anniversary standard version of the new NECA Ultimate Leatherface, check that out. And don't forget to like, comment, and most importantly, hit that subscribe button. Also hit the bell to be notified so you don't miss out on any of my uploads on the channel here. If you want to support me monetarily, if you so choose to do so, you can head on over to Patreon, patreon.com/thepopcomplex. The link will be in the description. And guys, thanks for watching and have a terrifying day.